Let us paint the walls however we like while secretly trying to evict us? Okay. Not mine but my cousin's story she recently shared with me. Bit of a long one. On mobile. Background. My cousin, her wife, and their 2 kids lived in a rented apartment along with 5 other resident units in a European country. It's not completely upscale but it's definitely not slum. And it's a really beautiful place. And by lived, their landlord decided to evict as many residents as he could so he could renovate and bump up the rent by 3x. Pretty shitty. This all occurred starting back in September. Now, Scum Lord, as my cousin passionately called him, had tried to keep it a secret. But another tenant, who did work on the apartments for a reduced rent, found paperwork when he was fixing a broken window at Scum Lord's residence. A very, very nice house. He shared it with the other residents. Because that paperwork were drafts of eviction notices for random things. Example. Pictures of the residents of apartment 3 have been leaving garbage in the hallway. According to my cousin, who lived in apartment 3, they kept finding bags of garbage outside their door. Not theirs, but ones full of fast food takeout and very unsettling magazines. My cousin is vegetarian. She and her wife try not to eat takeout. It's definitely not their garbage. But back to the story. Basically, my cousin, her wife, and the other residents came together in their courtyard and realized that their landlord was faking these sorts of things to get them all evicted. With photographic evidence. None of them were very happy. Especially since one apartment was apparently being rented by couples who just had their first child. Another held an elderly couple who had nowhere else to go. 3 families including my cousins who'd been living there for over 10 years. And the maintenance guy who couldn't find anywhere closer to work and didn't have a car. And rent prices were already skyrocketing. These guys literally had nowhere else to go. Of course, they found this out while Scum Lord was out of town. So they couldn't confront him. As they were stewing over this, my cousin's wife, let's call her Allie, had an idea. She and my cousin had been planning to repaint their living room because the paint was peeling. And Scum Lord had said, in email, paint it. He didn't specify how it was painted or what color was used. Allie suggested that they all get permission to repaint their places, but in horrendous ways, then move out quickly. Everyone except the older couple jumped on board, which, as my cousin explained to me, they didn't want to start a fight in a losing battle. The older couple later managed to move into a retirement community that one of the families found for them to go to. Anyways, the rest of the residents agreed to it, and Scum Lord was sent email requests for repaints. And he basically said, go for in each one. I guess he thought he could get free paint jobs done from them. So, while juggling their normal lives, my cousin's family and the other 4 units all have to find new places, start packing, set up everything for the painting and repaint their walls. My cousin decided to be extra vindictive, and buys a shit ton of black paint, along with varying neon colors. She and Allie then painted on as many layers of black paint that they could. After using primer, of course, in every single room. Even the bathrooms and ceilings weren't spared. They finished in about mid-November. And they then let their kids, 5 and 8, loose with the neon colors. I'm talking handprints, random swaths of paint, got footprints on the ceiling, and just every random thing those 2 kids wanted. It, according to my cousin, was a glorious, horrific disaster. She told me there was even a butt print, though she could have been exaggerating. She didn't know what the other places were like. Only hearing that maintenance guy painted rainbows everywhere. that the family in apartment 5 had just thrown different colored paints on the walls at random, etc. Thankfully cousin's family managed to find a place before Christmas, which was smaller but it was in a good area of their town. They sent their moving notice and booked it. 2 weeks later, after they settled in their new place, Scumlord is blowing up their cells. He was pissed by all the new looks. He then wanted to sue them and threatened court. Cousin and Allie obliged. Court day comes and Scumlord actually had a lawyer and was suing all 5 of the former resident families at once. He claimed a whole bunch of crap, including all the reasons for the evictions. Maintenance guy destroyed him. Provided proof about the fake eviction evidence. Apparently some of the garbage included receipts from Scumlord's own purchases. That damage to the sink in apartment 6 was actually from Scumlord trying to fix it, etc. Then, they all provided the email printouts of the paint requests, pointing out how Scumlord never specified how it was to be painted or the colors. The judge threw Scumlord's case out and ordered him to pay restitution for damages. My cousin's family got the restitution, and she watched in glee as Scumlord struggled to undo the paint damages before apparently giving up and tried to sell the building. So far, there have been no takers. TLDR. Scumlord tried to fake evidence to evict tenants to upscale apartments. Ends up with 5 horribly painted ones and then is court-ordered to pay restitution after attempt to sue fails. Edit. Formatting. Edit 2. To clarify, former tenants want nothing to do with the old apartment anymore. And as for repainting, I wasn't kidding when I said a shit ton of paint was bought and used. According to cousin, they painted in so many layers that every wall had over an inch in thickness. And the ceiling was in centimeters. So imagine trying to clean up all that. And Lord knows how much paint was applied in the other units. I'm a painter by trade. Roll out walls every day pretty much. When I saw black, holy shit, I got the heavy breathing. When I saw ceiling, yay, your cousin is a fucking sadist and I love her. This is the last Reddit post for me tonight. I want to end on a feel-good note. Your cousin is my kind of people. Thanks for sharing. As soon as I saw paint in the title, I knew black was coming and was not disappointed. Good on your cousin Op. I hope they took pics. I gotta say the activity sounds incredibly fun. This also belongs in R Pro Revenge. I mean, they made the building unfixable, unrentable and unsellable. Ha! Scumlord painted himself into a corner. Personally, I wouldn't mind a goth, Lisa Frank house with glitter paint. If only they had used oil-based paint for this. Wallpaper. Also, an inch of paint? Exactly how many thousands of dollars, euros, etc. did these tenants spend? And hundreds of man-hours on painting. Good neighborhood spirit. Maintenance guys are the best. The one who was doing our rented house's maintenance came in to fix our bathtub after fixing a sink or something fuming. He, landlord, told me to buy the cheapest one, but that's why it keeps breaking. So I bought a super expensive one and he's just gonna have to pay for it. Super sweet guy. This is the best. I would love to know what the judge was thinking when the evidence was piling up against the scum. Lord. The design consultants for her apartment ceiling? The Rolling Stones. I wanna see it painted black as night, black as coal. I wanna see the sun blotted out from the sky. I wanna see it painted black. Yeah. A friend was being evicted and threw a sharp party. Everyone that showed up got a big fat sharp to write on the walls with. By the end of the night you could not tell the color of the walls. TL. Doctor. Tenants do the landlord a favor by ensuring everything was freshly painted with the most durable paint they could find. Hilarious. Friends of mine did the same. He used railway paint that is used for the reflective markings. Trying to paint over that didn't work. Sanding was the only option on the brick walls. And new drywall for the internal walls, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. Might I suggest anti-climb or anti-vandal paint next time? I love every part of this. One of them having nothing to do with the actual story. First, the story was awesome. And I love how your cousin and her wife think. I wish them well in life. Second, your cousin and her wife. And not a single bigoted homophobic comment. Not one. This makes me happy. Maybe there's hope for humanity. Where I live you can't raise the rent for new leasers or renovation by that much. I think the cap is 15%. 1 centimeter is roughly 100 coats of paint. 1 inch is roughly 250 coats of paint. I call bullshit on an inch of paint for the wall. And even more for centimeters on the ceiling.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.